Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we're face first into a pint of ice cream as Liereyy, playing as the green Lithuanians, prepares to take on Daniel, playing as the red Burmese. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to go up to feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at the respective civ matchup we'll be watching today. But before we do that, a very quick note. This might be my anecdotal, personal experience casting these non-tournament high elo games, but Lithuanians and Burmese are two civs that I'm actually seeing more and more of, and I am very excited about that. These are two fantastic civilizations that can be quite hard-hitting and quite fast-paced, and as a caster, the more exciting the game, the funner it is for me, and the funner it is for me, I'm hoping the funner it is for you, especially when I focus on things like this ostrich slowly gobble making its way. I'm assuming ostriches go gobble. I've never actually heard one in real life, so I'm assuming it sounds like a giant turkey. In any event, Liereyy playing as the green Lithuanians. If you like your heavy cavalry units, if you like free attack upgrades for in exchange for relics, the Lithuanians are the civ for you. Their knights, their cavaliers, their paladins all get a free attack boost for every single relic collected, all the way up to +4 if you collect 4 relics, no more than that. This feature also applies to their unique unit, the Liereyy. These are heavy cavalry units that actually ignore armor, which make them one of the deadliest unique units in the game, in my opinion. Now, to help you gather these relics so that you can get these attack upgrades, your monasteries as the Lithuanian do work 20% faster. Now, on the field of battle, on the field of battle, to support your heavy cavalry units, your spearman line units, and your skirmishers do move faster and can actually be upgraded to get extra pierce armor, which helps defend them against things like archers and other ranged units, and to build a robust economy so that you can build as much military as possible so that you can kick ass as much as possible. Lithuanians do start the game with 150 extra food, and they can be incredibly difficult to raid because they can upgrade their town centers to get extra 3 range, which makes them outrange basically most mangonels in the game. Now, Daniel playing as the red Burmese, another civilization that I think does push players towards mounted units. Their battle elephants automatically come with extra armor and can be upgraded to get even more armor. Their cavalry can be upgraded also to get a massive +5 attack against archers, and their unique unit is the Arambai. This is a ranged cavalry unit that throws adorable little darts. Horse shit accuracy. I think the base Arambai has 20%, the elite has 30%, but unlike other units other ranged units, I should say, whose projectiles deal 50% damage to units that it wasn't intended to hit, Arambai darts actually deal 100% damage to any unit they land on. Now, to support their mounted units, especially their slow, expensive elephants on the field of battle, the Burmese can turn to 2, I think, different avenues. The first, if you want to go infantry, know that all Burmese infantry does get a progressive attack boost starting in the feudal, +1, all the way up to +3 in Imperial. Now, you can also choose to use the game's only spellcaster. I'm, of course, talking about the monk. If you go this route, monastery techs are 50% cheaper, and to help pay for all of these expensive monks and all of these expensive monk techs, take a look at this. The Burmese know exactly where all the relics are on the map starting in the beginning of the game. Now, when you're playing an opponent like the Lithuanians, who desperately need to collect all the relics to get that big attack boost I was talking about, this is an invaluable civilization feature. I mean, your opponent needs relics, and you know exactly where the relics are, plus your monk techs are 50% cheaper. It's going to be hard for Liereyy, basically, is what I'm saying, to collect the relics ahead of Daniel. His economic macro, his unit micro is going to have to be on point and has to be incredibly strong. Now, to finish off the Burmese, if you do want to go the big military route, and why the heck would you not, you're going to need a lot of wood. You're going to need a lot of lumber. So as the Burmese, you do get all lumber camp technologies for free. So these are the two civs. While I've been discussing them, Liereyy as I said, needs that strong economic macro to get up to castle, start pumping out monks so he can start collecting relics, has reached feudal way ahead of his opponent. I think about a minute. Daniel busy trying to wall off his base. This is an interesting wall off. Sometimes you'll see when you've got these two forests in the back of your base, a lot of times you get what I call just the tip, where the players expand backwards and wall off essentially a little tip here for themselves, a little tiny piece of land. Do these trees go all the way to the edge of the map? They do. And now Daniel is in feudal as well. What is he going to plop down? A stable and continuing his wall off. Interesting that he chose to do it here and not, for example, a continuation of this palisade. Let's take a look at what Liereyy has for us. He's got a stable. And that's essentially it. Now, while the players, not a lot of aggression out on the map, Liereyy is choosing to go scout cavalry here, going up to 4 of them, while they continue to chase the exact same unit, but in red clothing. Let's take a look at his map, where he spawned. Oh, lordy, completely open to the back, completely open in the north, and completely open to the side facing his opponent. Once these berries are gone, this is a long wall off. So not surprising that instead of choosing a full wall off, he is instead choosing to do a funnel, where if Daniel wants to attack into his base, he's going to have to go through some town center fire. Daniel, we know he's expanding backwards a little bit here in the front, but also completely open to the west, completely open to the south, the east, the north, a little bit easier to wall off. Where is his primary gold? Forward facing, not great. Forward facing front stone as well. Liereyy, oh, what a nice and safe primary gold. Stone a little bit off campus, a little exposed, but with this many 4 scout cavalry out on the map, I don't think that he's really too concerned for all of their activity. Neither player yet has managed to get a single kill. A defensive spearman here protecting these lemon bushes. He knows that these yellow lemon bushes are my favorite, because any moment a bunch of blue adorable butterflies, there they are going to pop out, and I just love this game. I love the graphics. So I'm going to fanboy out on the lemon bush. Sue me. Actually, don't sue me. I don't need any litigious viewers here. A market going up for our green Lithuanian as well, who is now pretty safe and secure. I mean, 2 spearmen are going to not do much against this many villagers now being added into the mix. And so we've essentially got a bunch of full health green scout cabs again against a bunch of half health Burmese scout cab. Although that being said, the Burmese scout cab have taken the battle handily. Or maybe I shouldn't speak so soon. The villagers do manage to shoo them away. Kill count now in favor of Daniel. 2 extra kills. He had more units there, and more units died. Reinforcement streaming across the map, desperately trying to catch up to his friends here. 3 of them. Okay, not a bad little play here. Daniel distracting the scout, the spearman to the north, while his 1 fresh recruit enters stage right and starts tickling away at the HP of these villagers. But this 1 spearman, I mean, Daniel can take this fight, especially now that he's got 4, but he doesn't really know what his opponent has. He doesn't know that this is Lierey's only military right now. Liereyy desperately, based on what I'm seeing here in the resources at the top of his screen, or rather at the top of our screen, is desperately trying to get to castle. Like I said, Lithuanians, you need those relics. You need to get to castle. This has to be an arena-style matchup for him, because he knows he's playing the Burmese. He knows the Burmese have vision. They have eyes on where all the relics are. Now, let's take a look at if has Liereyy managed to do any scouting himself. Only sees 1 relic for now. He needs to maybe... I mean, I know he's under attack. I know he's under pressure here. You can't really spare a single shred of single morsel of food. He needs all of it to go up to castle, which he is doing light years ahead of his opponent. His opponent not even halfway to castle. Also still does not have the secondary structure, although I do see something being built. It is a market. Once that's done, he'll have the structures, and now he's slowly starting to gather and accumulate the food. Okay, half health spearman here throwing himself into the mix. More and more red dots streaming across the map. What are you? You're moving slowly, so naturally you are a spearman. And let's see. I mean, Liereyy is rushing up to castle. The question is, he's only seen 1 relic. Get a scout out. You've got 250 food. Get a scout out ASAP. Start trying to find these relics. You know your opponent knows exactly where they are. And now, finally, no more lemons. And so these villagers are going to escape. We'll see what Daniel decides to do now that his primary target of attack has basically disappeared, is no longer there. So what does he do? He pivots to the juicy, juicy stone mines of northern Lithuania here. But 3 spearmen now out. Should be able to zoom. I don't see this doing too much damage here. That being said, we'll see. My opinion versus Daniel's micro and Lierey's micro. Liereyy 10 seconds away from castle. Daniel also rushing up about a minute and 15 seconds behind his opponent. Let's see what Liereyy does with his advantage. He's got plenty of wood. What is he going to build? Another town center. Okay. So not in a rush to gather relics. Going with a bow saw. He wants his lumberjacks to be jacking lumber quicker, more efficiently. And this is a pretty big army here from Daniel, who's going to be in Castle Age in about 30 seconds. We'll see what he does. Remember, these Burmese infantry, all of them do get... I'm trying to click on it. My clicking skills are absolutely atrocious. Take a look. It's 3+1, even though, take a look at the top right of your screen. He hasn't researched a single attack upgrade. So essentially, I just realized what we have here today is a battle between one civilization that gets free attack upgrades for its mounted heavy hitters, the knights, the cavaliers, the paladins, the Liereyy, versus the other civ that just automatically gets an attack boost for its... Now he's in castle, so it becomes +2. Oh, God. And it gets a free automatic attack boost on its infantry. Now, in that scenario, obviously, Liereyy is in the worse off position, right? I mean, he's the one who has to gather relics. These attack upgrades are free. These spearmen from our green Lithuanian cannot engage. Another town center going up for our red Burmese. We are going to be sitting at 2 apiece. And now look at this. He's babysitting the relics. He's babysitting the ones that are further away. He knows these are the easy ones for Liereyy to get. And so he puts a scout cavalry there. The scout cav, the natural predator, the natural hunter of the monk. Okay, decent defensive castle here for Liereyy if he can get this up. Okay, might want to put a house here on the right side as well. Does Viper house himself on the left. And now Viper houses himself on the right, although I think this might be open. Yeah, he realizes that. Immediately puts down a palisade. Oh, nice. We're getting sanctity for our red Burmese. So where are his monks? I'll show you. The second that's researched, their HP will jump from 30 to 45, making them tankier, making them able to take, you know, I think maybe 1 extra hit or 2 extra hits from a scout cav. And now he's retreating. 1 relic already in possession for our red Burmese. I think a second one also. 3rd untouched. 4th untouched. 5th untouched. Isn't it interesting that all these relics are basically guarded here by these zebras? Very interesting. A 3rd town center going up for our red Burmese. He wants that gold. I hope we get to see elephants. I was going to say, I hope we get to see Liereyy as well. And 2 of them are already inside the castle hiding. And now Daniel trying to bust his way in through the northwest. Now remember, Liereyy, not exactly the cheapest of units. 50 gold apiece, 70 food. Liereyy doesn't exactly have enough gold or food to keep building them ad infinitum, so has to be very careful. Okay, let's see if he gets the monk before it manages to get a convert on one of these units. Interesting that there was another red triangle here. I didn't really notice. Another monk. No, go after the monk. Forget the spearman, go after the monk. This is the slowest. Now, oh, he's gonna lose the monk. But here come the Liereyy. I was gonna say it's the slowest, the least relevant battle of the game, but we are focusing, we are zooming in on it. Ugh, these units are just so ridiculous. 13 attack, ignores armor. Look how quickly these scout cav just melt. But you've got a natural defense here with these monks. Oh, maybe should have trained all 3. Yeah, all 3 of them on him. Okay, Liereyy decides to delete the unit instead of giving it up to his opponent. 3 scout cav defending. I see a very slow dot. No, never mind. It's a quick red dot. I thought that was a monk. Liereyy, what is Liereyy doing? He is going around the northern edges of the map. Why take such a circuitous route? He does not want to run into any monks. But the fact that he's running into monks left, right, and center should kind of warn him, no? That his opponent is rushing to the relics. A lion joins the fight. We'll see who, I mean, we know who's going to win this, but, you know, you always kind of hope, you know, you always kind of have a soft spot in your heart for the underdog. So these lions who know nothing but life on the savannah. Oh, God. Oh, no. Is he going to lose a bunch of Liereyy, or are they going to quickly, does lose one? Should lose a second, no? Those monks have been having their sniper lines on these Liereyy for a long time. 3 monks, so escorting 2. I don't know why he needs to send 2. Send a few here. But 4 relics for our red Burmese. My goodness. Oh, here we go. He's going to catch him out in the middle of the map. Will Liereyy, confident enough in his military abilities that he is getting wheelbarrow. Oh, God. Even with the extra HP, even with their escort, these red Burmese monks, what an absolute terrible loss here for Daniel, who is now knocked down to a measly 11 monks. Oh, you love to see it. Daniel, okay. Trying to body block here with some scouts of his own, some light cav rather. But I am shocked that he managed to save this monk. Yeah, that's more like it. That's more like it. Using the hill advantage as well. These Liereyy are going to eat these light cav for breakfast. If only they could catch up. 1.65. They do move fast. 1.54. But the second you hear that sound, the second you see those red lines, the second you see that triangle above the unit, you know you have to disengage. Incredibly fast red dot moving towards this relic. Where are the monks? He's got, oh my God, he's going up to 13 monks. Not a bad strategy. You know, at the end of the day, your opponent is going heavy cavalry, Liereyy. The, you know, every Letis you can convert is basically worth its weight literally in gold. Like I said, 50 gold per unit. Oh, these pikemen are going to be okay, but not as good as you think against this many Liereyy. But the Liereyy disengaged. He really does not want to lose any of them to monks. What is happening here? We've got an army very decentralized here to the north. These monks are waiting for Daniel to command them. He is busy microing to the south, though. Will lose another monk without getting any kind of convert. Maybe he should have led these light cav into the pike. But now finally, oh God, we got another battle here. I mean, look, Liereyy knows that these relics are juicy targets for Daniel. I am surprised he's not building any monks of his own, although maybe it's one of those too little too late scenarios where he just realizes there's no way he can compete. Look at this train. Oh, lordy. You got light cav leading the front. You've got a Letis in the center, a few pike. This reminds me of reading when I was a kid, reading about how wolves travel in a straight line. Okay, does manage to catch. Okay, Daniel is doing a fair amount of damage here with these cheap pikemen. I generally am not, my opinion is that pike is okay. It's not as good because, again, remember the Liereyy attack does ignore armor. But as I was saying, when I was a kid reading about wolves and reading about how the leader of the pack actually never is in the front of the pack, he's more kind of towards the back, defending the rear. And so, too, is, you know, the case here with the Burmese wolf pack here of these light cav in this one Letis, a castle going down in a, let's call this a semi-aggressive position here. Kind of to the front, kind of not. Does manage to see a lot of land underneath. We'll see when his opponent starts taking the, I don't know if this is a secondary or tertiary. I can't really tell. Both gold piles equally, you know, far away from his town center, but red is starting to mass in the center of the map. He sees that Liereyy is not playing aggressive at all, or that every time Liereyy tries to move out, he just gets slammed down by a mixture of pikemen, light cav, and monks 8 monks left, 8 light cav, 26 pike, 105, 106 villagers for our red Burmese. The parties have disengaged. Let's take a look. Sorry to anyone on a smaller screen. Let's zoom out. Let's take a look at the infrastructure we're working with. 3 barracks, 1 stable, 2 castle. Okay, so that tells me he wants to build Liereyy here. He's not really interested in knights or cavaliers, etc. Our red Burmese, very decentralized base here, very exposed in some areas. 4 barracks. What do we have here? A siege workshop, 1 stable. Does he even have an archery range? He does not. Not that he's really going ranged units. Okay. I love this castle placement. Second only to here if he could manage to somehow fit it. I don't know if it would, but what a fantastic placement. And now more monks are trying to convert more Liereyy. Pikemen moving to intercept. Light cav in the rear to support. Liereyy first to hit Imperial. Let's see what that means for him. It means conscription. He's going to be able to produce his units a little bit quicker. Rather, not a little bit quicker. Much quicker. And elite Liereyy. Okay, perfect. Our red Burmese hits Imperial. What does he do? He is getting a bunch of freaking upgrades. My goodness. Block printing. So his monks are going to have +3 range. What is this? Illumination. You love to see it. They are going to rejuvenate their health, their faith, rather. I think it's almost twice as fast, right? It's something like 90%. Don't quote me. I'm only a caster. I only should know basically everything about the game, but I think it's like 90% or 100%. I know it's not 100%. It's a little less. But in any event, Illumination will let them regain their faith quicker. He's getting farm upgrades. Theocracy. I love that upgrade for monks. Basically, if you train all 8 of these, or 9 of these towards a single unit, and it converts, only 1 of them has to regain faith. The other 8 still have all their faith. A massive body of elite Liereyy moving in here. Will he manage to kill the monk before he gets the convert? No, doesn't lose. What terrible, terrible luck here for Liereyy, who now has to dodge not only monks, but halberdiers. Remember, again, these are Burmese. Take a look at their attack, 6+5, even though he's missing the last attack upgrade. Also getting conscription is our red Burmese, who is now striking into Lierey's base here, but Lierey's halberdiers moving out to catching a small force of red halbs. A single solitary lonely trebuchet. 1 is the loneliest number, but soon he'll be joined by a friend literally any second now, and in come the monks to support Liereyy, trying to pillage, trying to loot, trying to distract, to kill, to do everything they can here to knock Daniel down. How many villager kills has Liereyy gotten? 18-9. So they've done an okay job, but they need to be very, very careful here. FU to this outpost, says Liereyy in particular. No villagers repairing that castle. These Liereyy, I mean, now they're basically backed into a corner here. Although it looks like they can escape through here, no? In any event, decides to sacrifice them so that these two can escape, but there's more halberdiers roaming around Daniel's base. And these halberdiers, remember, should have a +32 attack. Look at that, +32 attack against cavalry. And oh, okay. Liereyy decides to call it. I mean, we have the God's Eye view. We know that he did absolutely little to no damage here in the back of the base. I mean, he had 18 villager kills. Now he's got 24. So he killed 6 extra villagers since when we started looking at it. Now we'll lose how many units? 9 more units. We'll knock his military count down to 23 to the opponent's 64. Like I said, we have caster's view. We have the God's Eye view here. But what an absolutely incredible game out of Daniel, our red Burmese, denying the opponent who needs relics, all 5 relics. Let's take a look at the actual, let's see economically if it made any difference. Not that much, 1852 gold. So he's about 2600 gold ahead of his opponent. Not that he was really building any gold intensive units except monks. Stone count basically identical. Food count, about just under 3,000 off, and also about 3,000 difference in wood. So economic advantage here, basically. I mean, these two cancel each other out, the wood, the food, in my opinion. The gold massively in favor of Daniel, does get a little bit of a boost with 1,852 extra relic gold. Liereyy at most built 35 pike. Daniel building 67, or halbs rather. I guess for the most of the game they were pike, so it's not inaccurate. But take a look, 6+5 against the 6+2. You know who wins that battle. Peak APM. Okay, that wasn't right in the beginning of the game. So 216 for Liereyy. More of a relaxed game. Peak APM, really? At 3 minutes? Okay. Okay. Kill count, not the highest in the game. Liereyy, though, killing basically double the amount of villagers. But my God, was Daniel able to suppress and repress any attempt by Liereyy to get out onto the map. What a fantastic, fantastic showcase of using that Burmese bonus. Remember when I highlighted them in the beginning, they could see exactly where all of the relics were. Exactly. He did not need to be afraid of any of these zebras. 0 kills on these 3 zebras. 0 kills on these 2. So they are not aggressive. They are quite docile. This one's even dancing a little bit, stomping his back hoof. But yeah, all kidding aside, Daniel, fantastic game by him, using a combination of pike, a combination of pike and monks, pumping out 14 monks, getting those relics as soon as it could. Even though Liereyy hit castle first, I really thought that he was going to use his castle age advantage to start pumping out monks, but instead he went immediately into Liereyy, immediately into the heavy hitting cavalry units, but they are gold intensive, and he did not take his secondary, he did not take his tertiary gold. This gold is being taken by his opponent, the contested one near his base. Even this one, I mean, it's only a 39-minute game, so not faulting anyone for not taking additional gold. It's still fairly early. But yeah, for the third time, I'm going to say it, Daniel, fantastic denial of Lierey's much needed relics, putting on the pressure from the beginning. Since he was attacking that adorable blue butterflied lemon bush here, Daniel just did not relent. And even when he wasn't aggressive, he was out on the map with bands of monks and bands of pike, and Liereyy just absolutely could not get anything done here. Every attempt that he had, remember when he was trying to sneak in Liereyy from the back here, even they didn't get much done. Wow. I'm just, kudos, hat tip to Daniel for being able to use his civilization advantages, his civilization's features and characteristics. I don't know what to call it, but you know what I mean, in order to completely keep his opponent pinned back. I mean, take a look at Lierey's vision here. Beyond this one outpost, he does not see anything. He's got giant Swiss cheese black dead zones on the map. He has 0 relics. He is not able to fully utilize, fully maximize these Liereyy, who are, by the way, elite. And again, every time they poke at you with their long ass spear, it does take 18 damage away from you, and just beautifully contained his opponent. Did Daniel, takes the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.